SheBelieves Cup is coming up this weekend. It is 4 teams that are taking place in this tournament: Canada, Colombia, the United States, and Argentina. It all starts Sunday, March 1st. The U.S. will take on Argentina at 5 p.m. And then immediately following the match, we're going to have a recap for you live right here on A3. So join us. It's going to be a really fun competition. So let's talk about it. USA versus Argentina. Let's start with this match. Starting lineups, who you want to see, front attacking trio up top. Jordan, when you were looking at the roster, looking at USA versus Argentina, throw some names out there, especially for the attacking trio up top that you want to see start for Emma Hayes.
Yeah, I struggled with this because, well, it's a 3-game tournament, right? So you want to see different mixtures of different players. But when I thought, well, I'll just stick with the front line since that's what you asked me last. I feel like this is going to be a game where you're going to have to be able to break down a lower defensive structure. Like, you're going to have a little bit more of the ball. Yes, there will be transition moments and the game will open up. But when I'm looking at this group of forwards, you guys, it's pretty much all wingers. It's a lot of wingers. It's a lot of wingers. So I'm like, who is going to be the center forward in this situation? And so I'm like, go out with your best attackers in this first one. I put Rodman and Thompson on the front line with Jaden Shaw as the 9. I know she's listed as a midfielder. Yeah, I know she's listed as a midfielder, but I think you have to have some of that deception and creativity to break down a lower blocked team. Like I think Argentina is going to be in this game. So those are my front 3. You get speed, but you get creativity with all 3 of them. And yeah, but the 9, Darian, did you have somebody else for the 9?
Wait, Jordan, who did you say? Sorry, I was in the comments.
Thompson, Rodman, and Shaw.
I can see that. I can see Shaw being sort of a false 9. I don't know, y'all. With Emma Hayes, I'm like, are they going to go to a 2 up top this time? Is that maybe something she could be signaling? Would Emma Sears fit in as a 9? Could she? Could that be something she adds to her arsenal? I kind of think Rodman, Thompson as the wingers, and Ali Setnor as a 9.
Yeah. Ali Setnor I could see slotting in there as well. We got Sandra in the chat saying Jamise Joseph, screaming it from the rooftops about Jamise Joseph. I don't think to start this opening game. I don't think
9. Do you?
She did her hold-up play, I will say. I just don't think Chicago has used her to her best abilities.
Well, I think you could say that about a lot of players.
Well, who have they used to their best abilities? Yeah, Chicago, we're holding on for a better year. But when I watched her in the last camp, I thought she did so well rolling off of pressure. Her hold-up play was really strong. So Sandra, that's a really good shout. I want to see you. What?
I thought her, but I was like, I like her better on the wing.
Yeah.
So, but I get it. If you look back at that last camp, granted, I don't think the competition is going to be as strong as this competition was is going to be at the SheBelieves Cup, but I think the ability on the ball in tight spaces for Shaw for me is the reason why I went her over Joseph.
Fair. Lisa, what did you think?
I had Shaw because I was looking at this front line saying they're all wingers who, right, there's players in this listed roster that of course can play the 9, including Ali Setnor, including Jamise Joseph, even Trinity Rodman, right? I would trust her at the 9, but it's not where they thrive and it's not where they excel. I don't think Emma Hayes is going to go with the 2 up front. I don't see that happening. But again, it's Emma Hayes.
You know what?
Who knows?
This has been said before when I've thrown something out there. Just try. Just throwing something at the wall.
Just bookmark this moment.
We'd go into a 3-back and everyone called me crazy. Everyone said, Darian, they would never. That's not what. And then everybody went into a 3-back. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Okay, so we'll circle back Sunday afternoon and when Emma Hayes lines out with, what do you think? A 3-5-2? Potentially?
Maybe.
There's also a lot of center backs in this, in this camp, so I couldn't find a left back if I tried. So, Kate Wiesner, but I was like, anybody else?
Yeah,
so, yeah.
I just think we can't ever predict what she's going to do. She is in Emma Hayes, our queen. So I don't know. I feel like it could be a fun surprise in some way. And looking at the way these the 3 different challenges that the US has with their opponents, I think it could be another wrinkle.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, which I love to see. That's why they book this competition, SheBelieves Cup, with this 3 different styles of opposition that they'll get to play against. Okay, so it's a little hairy between the strikers and the defense. What about the goalkeeper position? There are 3 keepers called into this camp with Claudia Dickey, Mandy McGlynn, and Fallon Tullis-Joyce. Darian, for the goalkeeper position, is there one out and out that you're like, yup, this is going to be the starter?
Hello, PTJ is in the house, everybody. I think when she's back, she's healthy. She looks so good in the WSL and the Champions League. She's driving that team. She comes up big even when it's a sleepy game. This is her position. I think she's proven it. I think this is another chance to fully solidify it. Is it laid and cemented? No. But I think if you're looking at the list of the goalkeepers, she gives me the most confidence when I think of going against big competition. I think consistently playing out of the back, her shot stopping, her confidence, how much she's grown in the last year since she's been consistently called in. I think it's her.
If you're saying that goalkeeper position is not set in stone to be Fallon Tullis-Joyce's, who is the most likely goalkeeper to take her spot or to challenge PTJ for that number 1 role?
Probably Claudia Dickey. Jordan, you agree?
That's who I have Dickey starting this game. I think, well, the hard thing is the competition. Like I want goalkeepers to have a hard game. I really do. I want them to be challenged. I want them to have to stop shots. And I think this Argentina game, although I'm not saying it's going to be easy because it's not going to be easy, it is not going to be I think Canada is going to be more difficult. And I think the Colombia game is going to be more difficult. So I would like to see Dickey play in one of those 2 games as well. And I don't know, does Emma give a goalkeeper each a game? But I think all the things that Darian said about Fallon are absolutely true. But the rise of Claudia Dickey last year and how she really honed in on so many little things in her game that allowed her to be consistent and really game saving for this Seattle team in a lot of different situations. I think she's going to say, all right, I want to I want that first spot. I want that to be me and not Fallon. And I think between those 2, it might go back and forth for a little bit.
That's the thing with a lot of the competition that the US plays against. The keepers don't get challenged as much. So we're asking them, how do they play on the ball? How do they play when they have to make 1 good save in a game? Of the SheBelieves Cup competition, Jordan, you said Canada probably going to test the US the most and Colombia. So then in this game against Argentina, do you play maybe someone that isn't going to get tested as much in goal? Like,
I don't know.
What is possibly the thinking there?
Yeah. What did Dee say? We never know what Emma Hayes is going to do. She might feel really confident with Fallon, or these days before the game start in training, she might say, hey, I want to give, I'm feeling like, all right, this is a scenario, right? Maybe for one of these goalkeepers, like this is your chance to make your name solidified in that group of the top 3. And if you get 2 of these 3 games, then you can really show that. And maybe one of those games is Argentina. I don't know. I think this is why I'm not a coach. Like you have to really think about the long term of how you get the most out of these players, because getting consistent caps is important, especially in the goalkeeper position. We've seen that for years and years and years. But I think because it has been switched so much and this spot is really up for grabs, I think we'll know more after the 3 Japan games in April. We'll know a lot more about who that starting goalkeeper is going to be.
I will say when we look at the matches, right, it goes Argentina, then Canada, then Colombia. I don't think the strongest lineup is going to be against Argentina. No offense to Argentina, but that's the team that poses a different type of challenge where it's not going to be so defensive for the US. It's more so going to be who can break down a low block in the attack and deal with physicality, right? So to me, a goalkeeper starting in that match isn't the biggest vote of your number 1 versus a Canada or a Colombia. To me, that's where we actually see more of who's the team that has more of the vote of confidence from Emma Hayes right now.
Yeah, but do you also want your goalkeeper to go into that Canada game saying, hey, I got a game under my belt, I'm feeling confident, and now I can go? I think that those are the challenges of a head coach and trying to figure out what that balance is.
So to give you guys counts on caps, Claudia Dickey 7, Mandy McGlynn 5, and Fallon Tellis-Joyce 4 caps. It's low. I mean, right, all single digits for all three of them. And there's a really fun twist in She Believes this year, which I think Emma Hayes does have to think about. After 90 minutes, if there's a draw, it's going directly to penalties. So you also have to think about that from the goalkeeper position, because they want to win, not of course every game, but they want to win She Believes. Right? This is their tournament on their home turf. This is needs to be a must win for the United States. So even though you're going into this match against Argentina thinking, okay, we're probably going to control the ball a lot, we're going to have to work out of a low block, you still have to win at the end of the day. And that could potentially come down to penalties depending on who you're starting up top. Because I also think in terms of the field players, you could put on young players and see how they deal with the adversity of a low block against Argentina and the physicality of it. That's going to test them, right? Some of these veterans are going to be okay with it, right? Lindsay Horan in the middle and Rose LaBelle, they understand what it's like to go against a low block. They've done it for years with the U.S. women's national team. So throw in Riley Jackson, Claire Hutton. How did they handle a low block against Argentina, and can they withstand it and break through, and how long does it take them? How much coaching does it take them throughout the match?
Lisa, that's pretty good. You just got to the last line that we hadn't talked about, which is the midfield line, and threw a few names in there. So now we talked about the whole team and what we want to see. Look at you.
That's my job here, because we got places to be. We got stuff to do.
That's perfect.
Coaches to talk to, interviews to come in this show. Anyone else in the She Believes first game that you're like, I absolutely want to see them? Anything we're missing? This is it. Final thoughts on the U.S. before we jump to break.
I'm excited to see our girl Lily back. I'm excited to see Jamise Joseph. I want to see Maddie Darlene actually get some more minutes and see what she can do with this side. Because I think that's a big nod from Emma Hayes to bring her into this. I'm just excited. We never know what to expect. It's Emma Hayes.
It's the best.
Yeah.
I want to see Claire Hutton get some more time and more minutes and continue to grow in this roster with the people around her. I love watching her play. And I think every time she gets called into camp, she develops a little bit more. She adds one more tool to her arsenal. And for Hutton, this is going to be a big year for her to step up and really push to make that World Cup roster in 2027. And it starts right now for Claire Hutton, in my opinion.